Welcome to the Intentional Awakening Podcast with your hosts, Kathy Brewer and Terry Huberman.
Welcome to the Intentional Awakening Podcast. I'm Terry Huberman.
And I'm your co-host, Kathy Groover, and we're going to start this episode. Well, we're going to start it, as we always do, with an angel card. This is ironic. The angel card today is integrity.
Oh, nice.
Stand up for what you believe in, act in congruence with your values, and follow through on your commitments. I love that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Going along with integrity is, I think it's an important word, and it doesn't exactly go with what we're talking about today, but I think having integrity in the work that you do and having integrity as for me personally, a spiritual practitioner, a health practitioner, I think is really key. And I see a lot of people who are hoodwinked by things that are phony, or practitioners who are just out to steal money. And, sort of like, this is the downside of sort of this work, is there's a lot of people who are just charlatans. And sometimes it's hard to tell the difference, because things that I believe work, other people believe are blah. And, so where do we draw the line? Anyway, one of the things we're going to talk about today is Reiki and energy work. And I've been a Reiki practitioner since the early 90s. I'm a Reiki master. I've given a lot of people Reiki attunements. And Reiki is this more mainstream, but still in a lot of circles, fringe idea, because it's slightly quantifiable and there's a little bit of research behind it, but not tons. And so you say things like energy work, and I'm going to put my hands on you and energy moves through me. And skeptical people are like, what? And then I do crystal and gemstone placement, which takes it past the woo, So if you're doing, and this is just a side note, if you're doing spiritual work, if you're doing healing work, please do it from a place of integrity. Don't do it from a place of taking advantage of people who are desperate, because I see a lot of that. And that's bad juju and bad karma, and you're just hurting people. So as a side note, but we're going to talk about Reiki and energy healing today. So what's your take on that, Terry? I don't know if you dabble in that realm.
Yeah, I do actually. I do pranic healing. I've done Reiki 1 and 2, but then I do pranic healing, and I've gone through all the levels of pranic healing. And pranic healing for me just resonates better for me than Reiki, but it's all energy work, right? So, a lot of people are like, well, they hear energy work and then they have this idea, but they don't really know what it is. So let me just make this bite size and easy for you to digest. All energy are subatomic particles like neurons, electrons, whatever that you learned about in high school, that move in a certain speed and in a certain pattern. That's it. That's what creates an energy wave. That's it. So when Kathy and I are doing energy work, we're transmuting, because energy can never be destroyed. It can only be changed or alchemized into something else, like an ice cube, right? You have an ice cube, and when it's not an ice cube anymore, it's because it melts. But it doesn't mean that those properties or the subatomic particles of that ice cube doesn't not exist. It's just in a different form.
Yep.
Right. So what Kathy and I do when we're doing the energy work is we're taking whatever energy is existing. For example, if you have pain in your body, by using energy, we transmute and change the speed and the pattern of those energy waves into something else, which, for example, would be non-pain. That's it. So I'm just trying to make it, more simple for people to understand. And it's science and scientific, right? So science can prove energy based on waves.
Love it.
Let's simplify it for people to understand, because a lot of people have this conception and it's not necessarily correct.
Right. I hear you. Yep. That's a beautiful explanation. Reiki is probably, and I'm familiar with pranic healing. Reiki is probably one of the better known energy
It is.
techniques.
Yeah, for sure. It's
Um,
more mainstream.
it's used a lot in hospitals. It's used a lot in cancer centers. Often, if someone's dealing with cancer, they can't have massage because there's a risk of spreading the cancer cells through the lymph into the other parts of the body. We don't want to do that. So, Reiki heals on all levels of body, mind, spirit. I've had a lot of clients come to me from emotional stuff who want to do Reiki. I've had clients come to me who want to do chakra work and balancing and just sort of aura energy work. That's where it gets a little woo. But it has been shown to speed wound healing, to help bones knit faster, to calm your mental state. When I got stabbed in the hand, which actually was my fault, my ex-husband.
Oh my God.
No, he was carrying a plate of meat and the knife was sticking up, and I went to move a cobweb and my hand went down on the knife. And I couldn't figure out who was screaming. And then I realized it was me. So right into the hand, which is not good when you're a massage therapist. So I went, oh, I can see in my hand. That's probably not a good idea. So nothing like that bothers me. So I head to the hospital and I go to the ER and I'm doing Reiki on my hand. And it's maybe 45 minutes or an hour before they can see me. They're going to stitch me up. And the doctor says, oh my God, Kathy, why did you wait so long to come in? And I said, what do you mean? And he said, well, it's like starting to heal itself over. And I went, oh, I've been doing Reiki on it for an hour. And he goes, wait, what? And so he was stunned at how much healing had already happened because I was doing Reiki on it. I have had clients with dealing with things like breast cancer or cancer where I attune them to do Reiki and they do it on themselves. And it's been noted that people will tape their hand to themselves overnight so that they can do the self-care Reiki. The attunement consists of symbols that are put in the hands and the top of the head so that this opens the crown chakra. The energy comes through, it comes out the hands. When I do Reiki, my hands burn a lot. And after I had my last ayahuasca ceremony and I had the Kundalini awakening, my hands pretty much burn all the time, which is lovely. And sometimes stop it. And I need to put my hands on somebody. Just talking about Reiki activates my energy. And so it's a beautiful technique. I've been using it, like I said, since the early 90s. And still, because I do massage, as soon as I put my hands on someone with the intention of healing, the Reiki starts. And Reiki goes to wherever it's needed. Reiki can't be bad. And the other thing I like about Reiki is it doesn't come from me. So you're not taking my energy. It comes through me. So when I do it, I get a little hit and upgrade too. So that's actually really lovely. So Reiki is one of my favorite techniques. And there's a lot of practitioners who, this is where the integrity comes in. This to me has to be an in-person thing. I cannot attune you to Reiki someplace else. You can't learn Reiki online. You can't learn Reiki over the phone. This is my belief on this because of the lineage of how Reiki has been passed down. And I see a lot of people learn Reiki over the phone. It's like that.
Over the phone. Well, I guess
or, be a Reiki master in 1 hour online. It's like that's not how that works.
Yeah.
And so I do encourage you to ask, if you're going to see someone for Reiki, ask them what technique they use and how they learned and how long they've been doing it. Find somebody that you jive with. Because I had a woman call me once to do Reiki. And she said, do you do a lot of dancing and shouting? And I went, what? She had gone to a Reiki practitioner who spent part of the time dancing around her with a rattle and screaming. And I said, no, that's not Reiki.
That's not Reiki. Yeah, that's more shamanism.
Yeah, I said, so I don't know what they threw in, but that is not how I do it. I said, it's very quiet. I put my hands on you. You can also do it with the hands slightly above for someone that doesn't want to be touched. But everyone does it differently. Like I said, I do the gemstone placement and I do a lot of chakra work with mine. So if you're looking for a Reiki practitioner, ask where they learned, how long they've been doing it, all that good stuff. So
that should be standard practice anyways.
100%.
Is you should always ask them what their credentials are. Not that they need credentials, you know, but like, how did they learn? Who did you learn from? How long ago?
Yep.
I mean, there are people who it is very unfortunate, and especially being a psychic and a medium as well,
Yeah.
who take advantage and prey on people's vulnerabilities and sensitivities. I mean, usually by the time someone goes to a healer, they've done everything else.
Yep.
So they're at their last straw here. So there's an extra sense of desperation in a way that they need this healing.
Yeah.
And there are plenty of people who understand that and know that and will take advantage of it. So
Yeah.
that is probably our number one thing. And, you know, just don't be afraid to ask questions. That's what I teach my clients,
Yep.
because information is like medication. If you have anxiety or overwhelm, especially
Yep.
if you're like that, because the more you know, the more the nervous system can relax and open and receive. And if you're looking for a healing, you have to be able to receive it.
Yep.
If you can't open up to it, it's just going to build on top of itself, and it's not going to go into any of your openings.
Yeah.
So weird. But yeah. So yeah. And with pranic healing, there's color involved. So we're using the energy of the color too. And if you happen to be somebody who's like me, where I can see color plasma, like that's what, and I didn't really even know it was plasma until probably in the past 3 months. I learned that what I'm seeing is plasma. I was like, what the hell is that? But okay. But so you're also with the energy, you're getting it from outside sources. So you're using the sun, the energy of the sun, you're using the energy of the moon, you're using different vibrations of colors to do cleaning and clearing. A lot of pranic healing is there's a healing aspect, but a lot of it is cleaning and clearing.
Mm-hmm.
Because if let's say a chakra, if it's cleaned and it's cleared out, it's going to start working properly.
Yep.
So if it's not working properly, I'm not saying it's dirty, but it could need some cleaning and clearing out, and then it can start working properly.
Yep.
Right. So when it comes down to it, whether it's Reiki, pranic healing, or any other modality, it's all energy, moving energy.
Yep.
So that is also the reason why you have to make sure your practitioner is in integrity, because that energy is being infused into your field. So if that person is not in integrity, and let's say you are really open, you're also on some level letting in that level of integrity. So never be afraid to ask questions.
Yes.
Never.
Especially if you're not sure what something is. And because Reiki is more on the realm of more mainstream, I've had people call me and say, I don't know what this is, but people told me I should try it. Well, my God, ask questions, especially if you're going to come to my office and you don't know what it is. Because if you think it's a massage technique, that's not what it is. And you're going to be really disappointed when I say, keep your clothes on and let me touch you, let me just put my hands on you for an hour. If that's not what you're looking for, one of the things that, this is a sort of a side note, but one of the things that drives me crazy is Thai massage is meant to be done on the floor. You're fully clothed and it's on the floor. And there are spas in town here in Santa Barbara that do Thai massage, but naked on the table. And it's like, that's not what it is. Like, you're not doing Thai massage. So if these places went to a traditional Thai massage place, suddenly they're like, where's the table? And my clothes are off. That's not what traditional Thai massage is. So, if you're going to alter, and this is how things develop and grow, right? So I'm not saying we should never change things, but if you're going to call it something that's known to be a traditional thing, then do it that thing or call it something else.
Yeah.
To me, that's part of the integrity thing.
Part of the integrity. Yeah. Absolutely.
So question your practitioners. If you want to do energy work, find a great practitioner. Now, can you do pranic healing from a distance?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So
yeah. And that's basically because not all energy can be detected by the human brain through the senses. So where you and I probably do differ is I do believe that you can do Reiki from a distance.
Oh yeah, I can do Reiki on you from a distance. I'm saying you shouldn't be learning it online in an hour.
Oh, okay.
Because
So
the attunement has to happen in person.
Okay, that's different. I did not hear you correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that, yeah. And well, and the other thing with pranic healing is you don't actually need attunement. It's already within you. So because of the way energy works, like right now, you and I are talking through a Wi-Fi signal, but the energy waves are moving so fast, our brain cannot detect it. But does that mean you and that the Wi-Fi signal isn't working? No, just because we can't smell, taste, touch, or see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So that's where I misunderstood you.
Yeah. Oh no, you can, and I wasn't clear. You can absolutely do, if you've had your second attunement, you can do Reiki from a distance.
Awesome.
What I disagree with is these people that are not seeing you in person and training you to be a Reiki practitioner. I disagree with that.
What about a hybrid? What if you learned online, but you came like for the attunements?
Oh yeah, I think that would be okay. Sure.
Yeah. Okay, great. Because I think there are classes that are like that. Yeah.
That would be great. But also I see things like, where it's all online and it's like, I'm just of that tradition and that lineage. I can actually trace my lineage back because my Reiki master traced her lineage. So like it was very specific. And some people, and this is where Reiki got a little looser, if you couldn't trace your lineage back to what was his name? Usui.
I think it was, I remember him being Usui.
Usui, yeah.
There's a whole name.
With an M, Usui Mamoto or something like that. Anyway, if you couldn't trace your lineage back to him, then you were bogus. And I'm like, I don't believe that. But I don't think learning not in person from somebody someplace else in the world, I don't think that's a good idea. I think because it's a hands-on healing thing and because the attunements are really specific things with the hands and I think you got to do the attunement in person. So but the distance healing, if you've been trained to do that, then I think that's fine. To clarify, good clarifying question. All right. If you need anything from Terry and I, as always, please let us know. This is why we're here. I mean, really, this is why we're here. Exactly. I can be reached at kathygruber.coach.
And I'm Terry Huberman, and you can reach me at terryhuberman.com. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Intentional Awakening Podcast, and we'll see you in the next one.
See ya.